Hey gang, it's Nate, and I know it's been a while since I put a video in front of you all, but I wanted to take some time to talk about the next two discussion boards 11 and 12, because we're getting into some of the social media components of the course. So discussion board 11 and 12 are specifically tied to Gary Vaynerchuk's book, which is Jab, 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 Right Hook. Gary Vaynerchuk is a well-known expert on social media strategy, and he's written several books on this. And discussion boards 11 and 12 specifically talk about Facebook. So discussion board 11 is more general than Facebook, but it's this concept of native content. And so to kind of boil down what that article is that you'll read, what that article is about, when we talk about native content, what we mean is whatever social media platform you use, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, is that social media platform looks and feels just like one of your friends, somebody that you would follow. And what it is not is an overt attempt to sell customers something through social media. So with social media, it's more of a slow burn strategy. It's more of a brand building strategy. It's more of getting your customer engaged with your brand. You're not directly trying to sell them. And in fact, the people who follow your Facebook page or any other social media site that you have are following you because your content is cool and it's interesting, it's visually appealing, and it's just like something you're just like another friend that they're interested in. So native content, discussion board 11, has two components. The first component is that the content fits the platform that it is on. And what that means is the content for Twitter is going to be very different than content for Pinterest. Pinterest is a visual medium site with it's very visually alluring, high quality visuals, and that's what that site is about. Whereas Twitter, character-based, news, current information. So what you cannot do as a marketer on social media is have one chunk of content that you blast across all different social media platforms. The content needs to be native, i.e. appropriate for the platform that it is on. That's your first concept of native content. The second concept, native content concept, is that the content is cool and it's something you would want to follow, and it's just like a friend that you would follow, as I was mentioning earlier. So when we talk about native versus non-native content, remember that there's two examples of that. So discussion board 11 follows that concept of native versus non-native content. It's going to ask you to look at some examples. It's also going to ask you to kind of go outside and do your own views of some other sites on the concept of native. That's discussion board 11. Discussion board 12 is specific to Facebook. Now with Facebook, and Facebook is still the 100-pound gorilla in social media. I know there's many others, and those of you who are younger probably thumbs down on Facebook. But from a marketing standpoint, it's very productive. A lot of marketers use it. The ability to target your ads not only by common demographics like age and income and gender and ethnicity goes much further with social media, and especially with Facebook. Interests, activities, very specific geography, zip code specific. You can really drill down at a granular level to identify a very specific target audience on Facebook, and you can also measure the results of those efforts on social media. But the discussion board 12 is asking you about Facebook's EdgeRank system, which is how they determine what posts get distributed out to all the people that follow you, all your friends. And what's interesting, now we're looking at Facebook from a business standpoint, not from you using Facebook as just a user. From a business, we obviously have fan pages, Facebook fan pages, and a business is using Facebook obviously to engage with their customers. The interesting thing about Facebook and many social media sites is you might have 20,000 followers on your Facebook page, as an entrepreneurial friend of mine does, but that doesn't mean that when you push out a post that all 20,000 of your friends get that post. In fact, very few do, like maybe 5% or 1%. Facebook has really turned off the faucet on distribution of your posts. Now, if somebody specifically goes to your fan page and looks at your business Facebook page, they'll see that content. But it is not pushed out to all your followers and showing up on their page automatically. Why? Well, obviously Facebook wants you to pay for that content to be pushed out to all your followers, what we call a promoted post. And many of the social media sites start out this way. Everything's free and it's cool, and then they try to start making money and they have to get you to pay for your ads to go out there. So what determines what type of posts are going to get distributed out organically, meaning you don't have to pay for that post to be distributed to more of the folks who are following you? How can you get to maybe 30% of your followers getting that post versus 5 or 1%? This ties to question 2 on your discussion board 12, which is really the concept of engagement. With Facebook, what drives them distributing posts out to more people who follow you and others is the engagement on those posts. And that means that if folks are liking your posts or sharing your posts, reposting, etc., commenting on your posts, then that is going to increase the engagement. And through Facebook's EdgeRank algorithm, they're going to distribute it out to more people as that happens. So the lesson for us as marketers is that when we are using Facebook and other social media sites to push out content and talk to our customers, is that we really need to be striving for engagement with those customers. And that means we want them to interact with our content. We want to ask them to like or comment on our content. We want to encourage them to share it with others. So as you design and craft this content, you don't just want to push out straight content. Here's a picture of our new product. You should buy it. That's not going to cut it on Facebook. You want to go further and have some type of contest. Like, if you like this, what do you think? Would you like or comment on this product? And maybe get a chance to win something or get some contests around it and try to get your followers engaged in your content. Engagement drives distribution of your content on Facebook. So that's ties to question 2. Question 4 on discussion board 12 asks you to look at some other Facebook pages that you like, business Facebook pages. So take a business that you like, and I'm sure they probably have a Facebook page. Look at that Facebook page, and then you want to evaluate that business's Facebook page based on the guidelines that are in Vaynerchuk's article about what constitutes a good Facebook post. So make sure when you read the Facebook article, at the end is the guidelines for good posts on Facebook. Make sure you have that in front of you when you're answering question 4 for discussion board 12. It's the guidelines for what constitutes good versus bad Facebook posts. And then question 5 asks you if you were to consider yourself as a business and looking at your own, sorry for my poor video quality here, I'm doing this with some poor lighting. If you were to look at your own Facebook page and consider yourself to be a business, would people follow you? Would they consider you interesting, what we know about native versus non-native? In other words, looking at the guidelines again for what constitutes a good versus bad Facebook post, how would you rate your own Facebook site? Now, if you don't have a Facebook page because you're too young and cool for that, or you live under a rock somewhere and you've never heard of Facebook, you can look at a friend's Facebook page, but I'm assuming most of you do have a Facebook page, and evaluate it under that context. Okay, that's discussion boards 11 and 12. Good luck, enjoy those. There's articles you need to read for each of those discussion boards. Thank you, good luck.